everyone. It is 5 o'clock. This meeting will come to order. This is a meeting of the Select Board.
Recording in progress.
Meeting of the Select Board on September 29th, 2025 at 5 p.m. The agenda for this meeting has been posted in 3 different places around town on our website and has been emailed to interested parties. So I believe we are good to go this week. Are there any additions or deletions to the agenda from anyone here or on Zoom? Okay, let's proceed with the one that we have. The first thing that we're going to do is approve some prior meeting minutes. We do have 2. One was from last week, which was very short. And we just opened the meeting to say that we could not legally have a meeting and then close the meeting. I move that we approve the September 22 Select Board meeting minutes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Now to go back to September 8th, that was a lengthier meeting. And I did read through all of these. And I found not even any typos in this one or anything like that. So I move that we approve the Select Board meeting minutes from September 8th, 2025.
I was not there, so I will be silent.
I'll second.
Stephen said you were absent. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so we're all legal on that as well.
Can I just make a note? We do have Sarah Wright on from Two Rivers,
Let's do her first.
and she has another meeting that she needs to go to, so if we could take care of her.
Timely, Sarah, welcome aboard. Let's hear from you.
Hi, good evening, everybody. Hope you're all doing well. I'm sorry I can't be there in person this evening. So I had asked to reach out to Select Board and have a short conversation with you all about a meeting that we're hoping to organize and actually have in Rochester, not too far from now. So as part of our, I'm for those of you who don't know me, I'm with Two Rivers Ottaquiche Regional Commission. We are the Regional Planning Commission. We serve 30 towns, and Rochester is one of those towns. Just like towns have to update their town plan on a regular basis, Two Rivers Ottaquiche Regional Commission, like all the other regional planning commissions in the state, is required by the state to update its regional plan on a regular basis as well. So we are in the process of doing those updates, and in doing those updates, we are holding meetings of groups of towns throughout our region to get more input on folks' thoughts about where we are right now, where we're going, where we would like our communities to be in the future. And so we are proposing to organize a mountain towns meeting within our region, which would be town of Rochester, Granville, Hancock, Braintree, and Pittsfield. And we would have one meeting for all of those towns for any members of those communities who are interested in being part of this sort of visioning discussion. And we would have that meeting at the former Rochester High School. We've been in communications with ASHA about space availability, et cetera. And we're looking at the evening of October 23rd. That's a Thursday. And we would be using the auditorium and also the community room. We would bring food for folks. And as I mentioned earlier, the general flow of this conversation would be, what do we love about our communities? And where do we want to see our communities going in the future? And how can we work together to achieve those visions? And the idea of having this be a multi-town meeting is that there are some interesting synergies that can happen when we bring multiple towns together to think about how do we collaborate across town lines? What are our common interests, common goals? And that is our goal as a regional planning agency, is to do that sort of, cross-town thinking and help people have those kinds of conversations. So this would just be one meeting. And from that meeting, we would be gleaning information that would then, inform our regional plan. But our goal is to make it useful and helpful for folks in your communities as well, and in particular for select boards, elected officials, and other town officials, so that this this conversation it continues to have a life beyond just this one meeting, right? Both at the regional level, but then also at the local level as well. So I was hoping to speak with Select Board today about how we can frame this meeting in a way to make it valuable to folks at the local level, in terms of how, what topics would be useful to talk through. Are there specific ideas that you might have for crosstown collaboration that you're already thinking about, that you think this might be a good space in which to discuss those? And then also thinking about how do we work to actually get the word out about this meeting? What's the best way to spread the word and get people to come to this meeting? Those are my questions for you, and I'd love to get your thoughts on those, but I also want to back up a minute and stop talking and see if anybody has any questions for me about just the general concept, what we're proposing to do.
Do you have a time set for this meeting?
We do not yet. I'm working on that.
Okay.
Do you have a preference for a time?
I'm not sure I'll be able to make it that day. It's
Okay.
50-50 chance.
Okay. Yep. Scheduling is tough.
Yeah, it is. I understand. That's good. I might be able to zoom in.
Yeah,
Will
so
we be able to do that?
would it be helpful to have it be a hybrid meeting? I know some people don't like hybrid because it's hard to get the acoustics to work, et cetera, but does the town have equipment to make that possible over at the high school?
Yeah.
Yes, we have. And you're correct. It can be cumbersome.
What do folks think? Would it be valuable to have that be a hybrid meeting?
Get more people. It always seems to help
Yeah.
attendance.
There's some people that always show up
Yeah, I think that would be
with
yes.
benefit.
Our newspaper reporter usually dials in for Zoom, so.
Great.
And we can also invite Workup to join us.
Yeah.
I did have one other question.
Yeah.
Why not Stockbridge?
Why not host it in Stockbridge, or why not include Stockbridge?
No, why are they not included in the town list?
So part of this impetus is to focus on towns that have less access to resources. And when we were doing the sort of calculation, we thought, okay, well, mountain towns, let's focus on these these five rather. Because Stockbridge is a little bit closer to some main roads and services, so we hadn't included them. Do you think that's a serious oversight? Should they be included?
But they are between Rochester and Pittsfield. I just didn't know if you were including them in the like a Bethel zone.
Mhm.
Or they do have an area called Stony Brook that may not be mountainous, but it sure is lots of back roads.
Mhm.
And then they do have a Timberhawk community, which is a mountain community. I don't know, it's up to you, but I was just
Mhm.
curious why they were excluded.
Yeah, they are a little bit closer to the main services that you would see in Bethel and other
Well, their
areas.
children go to school here in Rochester. It's the
Yeah.
Rochester Unified District, so we're kind of attached to the hip in other ways.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, the
That's
boundaries
fine.
get fuzzy. Yeah, I can chat with my
Okay.
team about that and see what we can do. Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else have a question or comment?
Just, I would endorse the notion of inviting Stockbridge. I mean, that's part of the Quintown area as it's been conceived for senior services as well. As you were saying, they're part of the school system, the local school system, so. It would seem to be a natural connection that way.
I'd like to say they usually bring the cookies, but.
We'll bring food this time. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you. That's really helpful. I'll chat with my team about that. And so then I was hoping to get your guidance around the best ways to get the word out about this meeting to folks in the community.
Front Porch Forum,
We can
I-
put it in
I-
our Friday email.
Yeah, probably Front Porch Forum and the Herald are the strongest.
Mhm. and Kristen will put it out in her weekly newsletter to people.
Yeah, excuse me, Julie or Pat?
Yes.
If you want to give Sarah, or she could send it to you and you could send it to me, my work email, if there's a separate article per se that with information she wants put in this, I can certainly put it in the week before the meeting in the Herald, in the Rochester section of the Herald. Be happy to.
Yep. That would be
Thank you.
great. Did you hear that, Sarah?
I did, thank you.
Okay,
that's
so
wonderful.
just make sure you get it to them in time and they can forward it on to me if you ask them to do that. That would be
Okay.
great.
Thank you.
I'd appreciate it
I
because I work from home.
Mhm.
Thank you.
I'll send you out an email tomorrow with, Martha's email address, Sarah, and
Okay,
then,
great.
you could just like send her and I both some verbiage or whatever. I'll put it out in my email too. So I'll be in
Okay.
touch.
That's
Wonderful.
perfect. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you,
Yep.
Kristen.
Yeah.
Thank you. That sounds good. And then we'll be in touch too about like arranging equipment for a hybrid meeting that evening. Two Rivers isn't able to bring like an owl to make that happen, so we'll have to work with the town on that. Another component of this is that we are sending out, we're going to make surveys available to folks who just aren't able to make it out to a meeting or unable to dial in. And we don't have capacity to make this like a really comprehensive survey effort that goes on months and months and months, but we do want to make surveys available through the town office. And, you know, if you have a listserv that you want to email it out, we can send out a link to folks. So that's another way that folks can participate, even if they can't, if they're not available that evening. And we'll make the responses available to, you know, the select boards who are interested in participating in this meeting as well, so that you can have those responses. So then the biggest question I think that I was hoping to get input on tonight is, are there topics that are really pressing for your community and that maybe you're seeing some overlap with neighboring communities that you think would be fruitful to talk about in this kind of a forum?
Well, crosstown collaboration is something that I know the state of Vermont is really trying to impress upon a lot of small towns together. And that is definitely one of your goals. So that people understand, it's basically sharing equipment and possibly even personnel town to town over borders. The state of Vermont is trying to cut costs by gaining us together with our neighboring towns. That's going to become more and more important, and at some point it may become essential that it's done. So this is a good time to voice opinions and ask questions about what concerns you may have with that type of situation coming to our town and our neighbor towns. Other than that, I don't know. Anybody got any ideas about what else we would want to be talking to our neighboring towns and Two Rivers about? Not even cell towers.
Certainly housing.
High school,
Housing,
high school, housing, affordable housing.
And I'm sorry, I missed before affordable housing. What was the school piece?
I was just throwing that
Oh, I
out
see.
there, the high
Right.
school, the topics that have always been at the top for our town.
Mhm.
There is with grant writing.
Well, Patty, I can say that working with Two Rivers in terms of rural development has been invaluable. So if this process is about sharing with other towns, then that would be something else that would be very good to discuss and share experience.
Yes, absolutely.
Because I can't even imagine doing what we've been doing without Two Rivers, without Sarah specifically.
The rural development assistance more generally. Okay, great. I don't want to take up too much of your time tonight, but if anybody has any additional ideas that strike you in the wee small hours, send me an email. And yes, we will let you know as the event shapes up and more details fall into place. And we'll be in touch about getting technology and all the rest of that stuff worked out. So thank you all so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yes,
Sorry. So our Zoom, we've had a change with our Zoom meeting access. And I have a message on my computer here that's reminding me that this current Zoom that we're in right now is only gonna last for 40 minutes. So what will happen is the meeting will close at 40 minutes and I'll have to restart the meeting and then let everybody in again that's on Zoom. So everybody that's on Zoom, if you get kicked out, just know that I'll be opening it back up and then letting you right back in. Sorry for the
Hopefully.
inconvenience.
hopefully.
Kristen,
Yes.
Kristen and I are gonna be taking training for team meets or for Google Teams.
Yeah,
So we'll probably, since that's part of our package with the town, we'll probably use that more
been
than,
using the
yeah.
Teams instead of.
Yeah, it does seem overall, a lot of organizations are moving away from Zoom
Yeah,
into other platforms.
so, sorry, thank you.
That's perfectly fine. Okay, let's move on to our departmental reports. That is, the first on our list is a report from the library.
I do not have anybody on Zoom.
We have not had a report from the library in a
we'll
while.
have new trustees, so maybe we may need to reach out to them.
Yeah, say we like to have that. Tony Goopy's not on it anymore.
Yep.
Highway Department.
No.
Well, it leaves the utilities operator.
Everything's good.
That's good.
Pumps are working.
Thumb up emoji.
Pumps
And
are pumping, the pipes are piping.
Pumps are all back in order again.
I like that. Water supply is good.
I can't see down in them. There's no access to see what the pump, what the flow, what the pipe in my wells are. There's no wires or anything down there to tell me. And the gaps are all sealed. Pretty full pump. Not interested, no.
Okay, well, hopefully the water table
Yeah,
starts rising again with the sun not being so strong and a little bit more rain, huh?
yeah, don't look like we're gonna get much for 8 days, so
I know.
definitely a burn ban on.
Yes, as a reminder to folks, we are still in a no burn week, month, time. Energy coordinator.
Not on Zoom.
Grant updates?
I have two quick ones. Grant and Aid FY 25, we did the project on the Lower West Hill that has been completed for a while. I've sent in reimbursement. The total cost of that project was 24,632, and we'll be receiving 15,000 back for the grant. And I'm currently working on the Class 2 Bethel Mountain reimbursement, and I'll let you know when I submit that.
Was that for the paving that just happened up there?
The Class 2 Bethel Mountain, yes.
And then West Hill, was that something to do with the bridge or?
No,
That's just-
West Hill was like, ditching and some
Ditching.
holes.
Just not one I'm familiar with.
VHI management updates.
A couple of operational improvements we're working on. One is the septic system. So Terry and I and Asha went over the site plan that we have, the description of where the tank is, the distribution box and leach field, et cetera, and decided that we ought to put caps on the tank so they're more accessible and you don't have a hole in the ground that somebody can fall into.
Risers, yep.
Yes, right, here's, put a filter on the tank and camera it to look both outward towards the distribution box to see if the pipe that connects the septic tank to the distribution box, which is probably cast iron and has probably been shrinking its aperture over the past 50 years or so, if that's a problem or not. And also camera back towards the building. There are some problems with some of the toilets flushing on the main floor. So they're only on Maple. We want to run that down and see if that's an issue or not, if there's something in the lines. Did I get that right?
Yeah. You might check the toilets and.
Yeah.
You might have calcium buildup in the toilet, and that's why they aren't flushing,
Okay.
especially the way they've been setting.
And when we looked at the leach field, there was no evidence of any problem right now. There's no ponding of water, there's no odor coming out of it, so I thought it was just leave it alone and hopefully they, we won't run into problems. And if we do, then we'll deal with it at the time, but there didn't seem to be any evidence or a reason to dig it up.
And there is a copy of the septic plans in,
I'm not swearing over, right? I was looking around there the other day because the way he's got it drawn is them fields would be in the middle of the road and that ain't happening.
Okay.
So I think they gotta be straight out from that
Yeah.
tank, the way the tank is.
It's the engineering firm, Du Bois and King, they took whatever drawings they could get their hands on, created one new master site plan with information they had available. It's not field tested, just based on drawings that they were able to get, so it may not be as built, but it may be as planned.
right, well, it's never failed us in the past,
Yeah.
so there's no cause for concern.
Yeah.
Just knowledge is good.
The other area, the front door lock, so the proximity card and reader system is being, is obsolete. We can't create any new pass cards for it. System has been run by the school in the past and they're replacing all of their locks. So we're taking a look at alternative options for how to maintain security of those doors going forward into the future.
Without keys,
Yeah, without metal keys.
coded access.
Right, right.
Mhm.
So those are operations. Then we have the management agreement discussions continued, Selectboard. Just pause there and see if anybody has any questions. We do now or in public session, whatever.
I received a question from a construction company asking a lot of technical questions. Is that something I can pass on to you or Asha for some help?
Yeah, what you talk to me
Okay,
and
thank you.
sort it out.
Yep, I think I
Yeah, with Chad too.
wrote some of it, but will do.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Vic, can I ask you about this change order from the architect? It was sent to Julie. She would prefer someone on the board sign it. Not being intimately involved with what's going on with the architecture. This is asking for a change order in the amount of $8,250 for site plan work, water and wastewater work. Can you expound on what this is about?
Well, you should have gone to Dick Robson first for review.
Okay, well, if that's needs to go in first, then so be it.
We never saw it. Never saw it.
He's been out of the country, just came back today, so.
Oh, that's one that yep.
Okay, we're good with that.
Yes.
It's always a big topic for us. Select board updates. I have a few items to bring up since the 3 weeks of our last meeting. Regarding the Jones Mountain Road and where does it end issue, I had sent messages to the United States Forest Service and our ancient roads expert, which about 15 years ago, there was a panel of people that developed our ancient road maps. I have received responses from both of those, and I've got them under review and advisement for where I'm going to go with the next step. It was just providing some more a little bit more background, but nothing conclusive quite yet. So, if those landowners are tuning in tonight, we're still working on this to try to find a resolution to where Jones Mountain Road really ends. and the access of Jones Mountain Road. 3 grants are coming our way. We are considering 3 grants to possibly come our way. One is a transportation alternative programs. And I am working with Rochester Outdoor Collective about what we might want to do. This can be pointed towards bike paths. My example is Fairly used this program to develop bike paths that would go around the village rather than right down the main road, Route 5. So they were able to develop bike paths that were alternative so that they could get from one end of town to the other without going straight down the road. Makes it very much safer. So I'm looking into, is it Kristen that I'm looking into this with? There's a new gal on there. And we're going back and forth about, she's wants to know what the town would like to do, and I'd like to know what she would like to do. So we're gonna pull this all together. The other upcoming one is the municipal highway and stormwater mitigation. This, I think we just closed out the one from last year, correct? The West Hill is municipal stormwater. Every year we apply for this one because it was an overall clean water legislation. And we get a chunk of money to take some of our class 4, class 3, our back roads that are on hillsides, hydrologically connected or something to their water drains to the river drains to the Connecticut, or we don't send water to Lake Champlain, but others do. So there's a program that every year a certain amount of money is offered to each and every town, pretty much to mitigate water by making the ditches wider and bigger. So if you're going down a dirt road and you see that you could take a Volkswagen Bug and flip it upside down in the ditch, you know that this program has been to that road because they're trying to dissipate rather than make flow. So every year we tackle another section of a road, and that one is coming right back around again. And the other one, the last one is a Better Roads grant, which is just a grant program that help us improve our roads. So it's federal money, I believe, that's coming down the pike that we can have our hand out for to make an improvement to some part of our road that needs it. So these are all yet to be determined. There is a meeting this week with Rita Cito, Two Rivers, and she is kind of the transportation gal. And John Champion will be joining us as well as we kind of investigate different parts of the town and see where the need is, and she can take that with her and get this money for us. I did sign a license agreement with Rochester Stockbridge Unified District for the use of the high school wing that includes the auditorium, the art room, the music room for 2 days a week. So that is now like under a license agreement with a contract with them, and students are now enjoying that wing of the high school, correct?
Yes.
So that's big. That's very appreciative that the high school is now being used for educational purposes, albeit 2 days a week. It's a start. Petition solicitation taking place in the recycle area. We had someone that was complaining about people soliciting for signatures on a petition in the parking lot on the Saturday morning when the trash was being delivered by townsfolk or valley folks. And it was noted that it was kind of interruptive if they could just stay off to one side rather than be in the middle of the people distributing their trash. So I believe that we got that message out on behalf of the trash collectors. I have had an inquiry about junk cars, which is still ongoing. I have not been in touch with that particular landowner yet, and I'm trying to find out how to get in touch with him. People that end up with cell phone numbers, you can't find them anymore. So not in the local phone book, so I will get with this person soon. We have started budget and finance meetings. They are every Wednesday, typically around 5 o'clock, and, currently, we will be addressing departments each week, which is our typical format. We have been discussing capital purchases because those are the most difficult, and so we will continue to do that discussion, and hopefully we'll be able to make a decision about a new truck, to replace the F-550 truck. It's probably the optimum time to get this ordered and see if we can have this truck available for us next winter. Underground storage tank at the high school, I have applied and successfully have noted the change of ownership, which was a requirement when we purchased the property. And so as of right now, it's been verified that the town is the new owners of the underground storage tank, and I have yet to hear if any other inspections or anything would come about because of that. We'll let you know if that does happen. And I have signed a USDA Haynes Project grant update. This grant was awarded at $200,000. Just the engineering alone came in with a request of $40,000 more. We did approve it. I had some questions. They were answered. I was satisfied, so I had gone ahead and signed that project grant just this morning to move it along.
Our meeting stopped.
It hasn't been 40 minutes yet.
I know. Let me try to open it back up again.
Let me know how far back I need to go.
Nope, you're good right there. 1 moment, please.
We need an easy button to
Yeah, we do, because this isn't stressful at all.
pause everything.
It gives you guys the opportunity to give any select board updates you want to give.
I'm good.
Recording in progress.
I'm waiting for old business
just
to
like
come
every-
around, so.
Are we good?
No, not yet. I'm letting everybody back in. We're getting one. They're piling in here. Give me just a couple seconds. We had quite a few. Okay, there's another 40-minute timer. I think you're good to go.
Okay, I hope everyone enjoyed their intermission. Now, back to our regular programming. The next thing that's on our list is approving the August treasurer's report. I looked it over. It's still kind of early in our fiscal year, but numbers are starting to pile up on those pages. So I did sign off on it. I move that we accept it, unless you have more discussion.
No, I looked at it, I second your motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
And we accept the August report. Next, we have a driveway permit for Keith and Joanne Mills, 1,221 Quarry Hill Road. That is after the Oxbow as you're climbing up the hill, and it would be on the left-hand side. This has been reviewed by John Champion, and he is looking for an 18-inch culvert, keep driveway as far away from curve in road as possible, which I'm sure he will do. He is looking to sell that piece of property, so I'm not sure that he plans on actually putting the driveway in right now, but he did want to have a driveway permit in place to enhance the sale of the property. So I move that we approve this driveway permit, changes on Quarry Hill Road.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And it is 9:29. Everyone gets to sign this. The next thing on our list is first response fiscal year 26 appropriation discussion and decision. I think I need to hand this off to
Uh,
the fire chief, fire treasurer.
so- is there a letter in, did you punch that out? Julie?
Yep.
Okay, so we received an official communication from Valley Rescue. Communicating that they will no longer be covering Rochester.
At
they-
all,
at all.
at all.
They haven't been for quite a while. And the volunteers at the fire station have opted to form a Rochester First Response. And we are moving to, I guess, reallocate the first response funds from Valley Rescue to officially to Rochester First Response.
That's not,
Um,
the 10,000
but-
cover it, but
Right.
they
But
get most of it.
so the funding that would have gone to them, which we can do anyway, because it's not changing the purpose. Would go to the new first response to cover the town of Rochester. And I am having to recuse myself from that decision. But
Because you're on.
that is, yes, but that is the motion and, we
Okay, so
discussed it
I'll
previously.
make the motion then, that we approve the transfer of that money from the, what was the name of the old outfit?
Valley Rescue.
Valley Rescue to, Rochester First Response.
I second that.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye,
Aye.
All right,
and that's a beginning. We understand. that.
officially done.
We understand
Right.
that it's seed money.
It's gonna be.
Yeah.
Oh, before we really know what's,
Mhm.
We'll keep you posted.
yeah,
Yeah,
we got some good interest, so.
Is,
we currently have how many people are interested in being on this fast response squad?
We don't have an exact number yet.
More than two?
It's not, yes, we're
Okay.
up to like a dozen.
Okay, perfect.
Will it be an affiliation of some sort with Word for training or certification?
With Werva,
We're under war with umbrella, terrific.
Yeah.
That's great.
so is there a date of this transition, or is it, has Valley Rescue already ceased services?
they,
if
they have
someone-
already ceased services. We've noticed
Oh.
a lack of response in the last few months.
It's probably been a year since they've had
Yeah.
any real response, and
Participation.
even before that, we probably weren't getting the response that we
Should have.
should have or could have been getting. So it's been a staffing problem for volunteers right along. I mean, they are up in Granville, so it would be like everybody here in Rochester covering Granville. It's kind of the same thing, and I think they might have had 2 or 3 people here in Rochester originally. But over time, that just kind of fizzles out and they
A lot of
haven't,
calls.
yep, they haven't had the manpower, and we really are the bulk of their responsibility, which they were just unable to respond to.
Last year, there was 116 calls in Rochester alone for rescue. That's a lot to ask of volunteers. To get up middle of the night. Or drop what you're doing during the day, get up from your dinner table when you got gas. And go do this, so I hope people take consideration, cause it is volunteer. No money. People should appreciate it and not abuse it. We haven't got the exact date yet, but I'm hoping to have it going by the 15th. Of October.
I-
You intend to recruit non-firemen to be on the crew?
Yeah, but you have to join the fire department because it's the Rochester
So just-
Fire and Rescue is what it's
To
gonna
be
be.
under the umbrella,
Right,
yeah.
and you'll be
But they
made to go to meetings and
But they
stuff.
wouldn't have to get fire training.
No, not at all.
I know that when I moved here in '86, one of the first things I did was join the rescue squad that Rochester had then. And if nothing else, 6 years was my term, but if nothing else, I carried that training with me right through today. The training is invaluable to have for the rest of your life, to be able to identify what is an emergency and what may not be. And so I highly endorse serving your time to your town and using that training. And the more people that we have that know how to do CPR in the general public can only enhance the services as well. That's my page.
But you have to have your certification to
Yeah,
do it.
yeah, sure.
Yes,
And it's something you have to do every other year.
Question,
yes.
will this first response be serving Hancock and Granville?
No, not right now. Rochester only.
Had we made,
See what you get for numbers.
had we made progress with obtaining a scanner sound, a signal? Not yet?
Not yet. Working.
Yeah, okay.
Tell me the right person to talk to would be good.
I love a challenge. Well, thank you. Thank you to everyone that is showing interest in this. The next thing that we have a lot of people with interest in is the cell tower general discussion. Let's go ahead and open the floor. This is something that is on our agenda. So, I just. Is she on Zoom? Is she here?
Erica?
Yes, I'm here.
Yep.
Hi.
So, just to remind everyone that, we're interested in new comments, new information, and, something new. We don't want a lot of repetitive over and over again. Erica, you have the floor, which I believe you do have something new.
Yes, thanks, Pat.
Sure.
Well, there were 2 points that we wanted to make, and we've had some comments, but it doesn't allow for a discussion, and we really want to hear your feedback. And so, one point was simply that the acknowledgement that the town can have reception, that there are many ways to have reception without a cell tower. And the other point that we want to understand better is how the town plans to, or how the select board will uphold the town plan and bylaws, because it seems to us that the cell tower is in violation of the town plan and bylaws, and we haven't heard your specific response in relation to such things as flood hazard, fire hazard, and also the health hazards. The town plan also talks about the health and safety. And so I know there are a couple people in the audience who have a specific thing to say in regard, and just want to hear more of an acknowledgement, not to be repetitive, but we want to hear your replies to a couple specific questions.
Well, I can go ahead and do that, but I am going to stand by what we have been saying right along, is that we are not forming any opinion or decisions or lending any information until an application is filed. The intent to apply was filed at the end of May. The intent was in place until the end of July. And from what I understand, after that fact, they have until the end of November to apply. So here we are looking at October, and there is still no application in place. I do start to suspect that this may be a repeat of last year where no application will come in.
Mhm.
It could be there tomorrow. We don't know that, but it is now getting towards the end of whatever season they may think is tower erection season. And so I'm not going to knee jerk and start giving out directives and opinions until we see an application, which may never come about. So to answer your question about there are other means of reception, are you talking about specifically only cell reception? You're talking about internet reception or TV reception? You're saying there are different types of reception. Yes, that's very true. There's different types of reception for different reasons. So are you asking this question specifically towards cell service only?
What I'm asking is if the town has looked into other options that could provide the residents with what is needed besides the cell tower.
The town is not the force behind the cell tower. We are not the applicant. We are not the ones that came up with this idea for a cell tower anywhere in town. So therefore, what we would have no interest in looking into alternative methods. Someone in the general public may want to do that, but the town is not going to be a participant nor have any ownership in any of this. So I don't see us doing that.
Okay.
You know, I could say something about compliance with the town plan. The Planning and Zoning Commission is looking into that. And they felt that they needed more expert input that they did not have themselves. And they've made specific requests of the state to provide that expert input on some of the issues that you've raised today. So that is in process as well.
Okay, thank you.
And the planning board has a record with the PUC that you can go up and read what their opinion is and what they are charging the state of Vermont to do on their behalf, investigating all the aspects of this proposal.
Yes, no, I know. And I know that the town has a lot of input that supersedes the state. And so just knowing that you have a lot of power in upholding the town plan and having a decision over the state as well. And so I don't know if there's anyone in the audience there who was going to talk more about that, but we just haven't had a lot of confidence that from the feedback from the select board or the planning commission that that town plan and bylaws would be upheld in relation to the cell tower.
The town plan and the bylaws are something that were specifically addressed by the planning board. That was their charge in this. The select board is charged with the overall good of the community, all aspects of it, not specifically just addressing the town plan. So if and when the time comes where the select board makes its opinion, it's going to be an umbrella of a lot of different aspects of representing the town.
Okay, thank you, Pat.
Sure. It's good to hear from you.
Thank you.
Okay, let's move on to what we have as old business.
I think you got a few more comments out there.
We can do that during the comment. Are you adding to this specific discussion?
Yes. I mean,
Okay.
I think what Erica was meaning was that we should have more of an open discussion, you know, a general discussion, and that's what's down on the thing, so.
Okay,
Yeah.
she had two specific questions that she wanted to ask. Okay, Go ahead. Go ahead. We can do it now. We can do it in public comment, but go ahead. You can do it now. We don't, no, we don't have one tonight.
So. I understand that the planning commission is doing most of the work regarding the town plan. I understand that. And I thank you for just explaining what you think, the select board role would be. I mean, I did have a little confusion about that, because I understood that the two boards are supposed to work together to ultimately find a, the response to this. So, two things came up in the planning meeting, the last one, that I just thought, well, it was relevant to relay to the select board, because you're going to be making a decision.
Or not, yes.
Well, some kind of decision, whatever, I guess. And so the one thing that does come directly from the town plan is that, I'll read this one sentence. The plan must serve to promote the health, safety, and welfare of all the town residents. Well, that's, pretty obvious, it's understood, and that's really good. Well, I understand, I came in just a few minutes late, but understand that, well, when the planning commission was going through the public comments that they received, when they got to the one about health concerns, they considered it not germane and just moved on from that. I'm assuming it's considered not germane because of the FCC ruling, section 704, that precludes that kind of information from decisions. I would like to think that if the town plan is going to be used at all as any kind of a guideline, that and it's saying that it's, it must serve to promote the health and safety and welfare, that some issues should be discussed a little bit more in terms of the town plan. And the health effects should not be just dismissed, because it's a real thing, it's a big thing. And I just think somehow it should be acknowledged and talked about on some level, somewhere in the decision-making process, or at least that it's in the board, the members' heads about it, because it's a real thing, it's a big thing. So that's one thing. And the other thing just also came up, I think it was this last planning meeting, that I had never even thought of before. I don't think anybody else did. And that was the fire hazard that this thing presents. It's a huge fire hazard. Alvina suggested that. I wish she was here now. I don't know if she's on. But the way she just presented it was like horrifying. And especially you have to think of it in this kind of drought. My God, it's bad enough, as she said, with lightning. Lightning hazard can put the mountain on fire. But this is just adding more hazard to the whole, more risk to the whole thing. And I just think we all should really pay attention to this. It just hit me really hard when she said it. I hadn't thought about that at all before, and I don't think anybody else would do either. But any spark, anything, and you're gonna have equipment going up there, and then, who knows? I don't know what all goes on, but I can imagine that there's probably gonna be a lot of increased risk of fire. And what she said was, it's just because, she described how it could just go over, eventually possibly getting to the whole village. I mean, wildfires and wildfires, and we're in the middle of a drought, and the drought could get worse. It could be worse next year. So I think that's something that should really, really be taken into account. Those are the two things I mostly wanted to say. I have one more little comment, and this is new. This hasn't come up anywhere, I don't think. And it's the concept of the precautionary principle. No one's really brought that up. Precautionary principle basically is, I have written down my, somewhere, but it's, look before you leave. Just, plan ahead and take precaution, that kind of thing. That's basically the basic thing of what the precautionary principle is. And it just seems to me, if we're just going cut and dry, okay, does it follow this, does it follow this, and not really looking ahead at possibilities like health effects. I mean, once it's there and once it's getting into people's bodies, and it causes a lot of problems, then what? Then what do? You're stuck with it for 50 years. And the fire hazard is a huge thing that needs to be looked at. So, I don't know, these are just, issues of, I guess, quality as opposed to quantity or something like that, that need to be taken into account and taken very seriously. That's all.
You haven't done any research about cell towers catching on fire, have you?
It's not about that. It could be no, I haven't.
Okay, I'll look into it.
Yeah,
Thank you.
it wasn't only just about the cell tower itself.
5 minutes.
Okay. That's all.
No, I'm talking to her behind you.
Oh, hi. Thank you.
This is about this thing on the agenda.
Yes.
Correct.
Cell phone tower. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you all for your time and listening to us. I know it's gotten to be a long ordeal. We really appreciate it. I think what Erica was touching on, and we understand that you haven't said your opinion, we got that, and I understand why. I think it's because there's a lot of concern, because when this started, there's a lot of discussion and feedback about how we had to go by state laws, or that maybe the town plan wasn't relevant or something. And so a lot of people have felt like we've had to kind of stay on top of it, because although people on the planning commission have acknowledged that it goes through a wetland, and it is a scenic byway, there's been a lot of talk of, well, maybe it's not a big enough wetland, maybe it's not enough of a scenic byway, maybe it's not visible in enough places, and there's a lot of that stuff. So that's the concern. We feel like it's very clear that it violates the town plan. But what I wanted to specifically address is, I don't know if you got the information that Tinmouth, Vermont just rejected the tower because the town recommended against it because of their town plan, and the PUC just said no. It just happened today. At least I found about today. I think it was today. And so you guys do have a lot of power in your hand. I know it wasn't your application. I know you don't get to decide, but this a lot of this rests on your opinions, and so that's why we're giving you so much of our respect and time, because we think it's important. And I wanted to bring up something which I hate to bring up. I'm really sorry, but it came up at the planning commission meeting last week. I didn't bring it up. Dan McKinley brought it up, and because someone had written a letter, I guess, and it's about the conflict of interest. And I did speak about it after that, and I feel very strongly about this, and I guess I'm asking for something to be done, because a lot of us don't understand why it's gotten to this point. And it's been very, very stressful to be at meetings talking to the planning commission with a member at the table that we're talking to about the cell phone tower, who is in a position to benefit from a deal with Verizon. And I know that technically she's recused herself from a vote on the issue, but to be actually addressing people at the table and having to address her is very uncomfortable. But I'm taking it one step further. I looked up the Rochester Code of Ethics, the town municipal code of ethics, and I just feel that these need to be read, because I know she recused herself from the issue, but I feel as though under chapter 60 municipal code of ethics, number 1991 definitions, it says under section 5, a conflict of interest means a direct or indirect interest of a municipal officer, or such an interest known to an officer or a member of their family, household, or business associate in the outcome of a particular matter. And this is what's important. A particular matter that's pending before that officer or that officer's public body. And I would beg to say that the planning commission is her public body. So I believe if you go to section 11, it defines public body. And it says, sorry, that legislative body means that the select board, in the case of a town, the mayor, the alderperson, it is the body. So having her recused on the issue, according to these code of ethics, I'm no lawyer and I don't work for the town, doesn't seem to be enough. It is, I believe, a huge conflict of interest, and I think that something needs to be done about it. It's not only feels terrible for people here to have to address her at a table, that's one issue, but it is pretty clear from this exact rule here that she should step off of this planning commission when they signed a contract with Verizon. It is a big conflict of interest, and I've asked the planning commission to do something about this, and I'm asking you guys, because it's just not fair to everybody in town to feel this uncomfortable about it, I feel. These are just my feelings, of course. I would appreciate some insight from you guys, and I don't know if you talked about that, but I think these rules are pretty clear, and thank you.
The cell tower is not the only thing that the planning board deals with. You've been to those meetings and you see that there's a lot of other business that goes on. That person has been on the commission for quite a long time, and I would not think of asking her to resign over this one issue that is at hand at this point in time and may disappear, and then we would be using a valuable volunteer on our town government. So we don't kick volunteers off the board unless they've been they've done something completely out of the ordinary. Recusing herself from this at all aspects, and several of the meetings that I've been to as well, she does not participate, and the rest of the board members are not biased because of that. So I would not pursue that at all. That's my feeling.
Well, and I totally agree. There's a conflict. She recognized the conflict. She recused herself. That's her requirement. That's it.
How do you explain section 5? It's the
She's
legislative body.
complying with the law,
But if you please,
complying with the law.
Thank
That's
you.
it.
Michael, but if you read section 5, it says in front of her or her body, and the whole planning commission is her body. So I'm asking you guys to reconsider maybe what we thought or you thought was appropriate, and see that this is not appropriate. It is the code of ethics on the website of Town of Rochester. I'm not making these up. So I'm asking that you guys take another look at this and another consideration, and not just assume that it's okay, because according to this, it's not. And in the spirit of it, it's not, because she's been at the table and we all had to talk. So. it's
So
kind of
noted. So noted. We will discuss it
I
amongst
appreciate it.
ourselves.
I appreciate it.
Mhm. Thank you. Are we good to move on?
We have 9 minutes until we get interrupted.
Till we get interrupted again?
I have one question relating to this. And I don't have a dog in the race. I could argue it either way, but I'm very curious specifically, why do you want to wait until there's an agreement before voicing any opinion?
Because last year we had a very different board sitting at this table. And so if we had made an opinion last year, it might be completely different from the board that's here this year. So we would have to be changing our mind and resubmitting what could possibly be a completely different opinion. So we all have our own opinions. Just because we're not revealing our opinions to you is like we're waiting until it's time for us to make the decision. It might not be another 2-3 years before this actually comes to fruition. Therefore, it would again be a different board lending their opinion. So we're waiting for the horse to show up for the race before we bet on one way or another, win, place, or show. It's that simple. It's like last year, we were asked to do the same thing last year, and it never came about that we were required to do that. So we're waiting.
So,
And the evaluation of the town plan as it stands right now is incomplete. So that's a key piece of information that we would need to consider.
all right, I don't want to argue with you about it. I'm really just very curious about it, because a big leadership thing is having an opinion. And to be completely passive, and like I'm not on
We
this-
are,
to be
we
completely
are
passive.
completely passive
I
at this
think it's-
point in time because the issue is not on our desk. Not an issue on our desk yet.
We have a lot of citizens talking about it.
It's an intent to apply, which has already run out, so. Okay, move on. Continued discussion about School Street traffic. Do we have Susie Smolin?
No.
Is there anybody else who wants to discuss the School Street traffic?
No
Okay.
hands on Zoom.
We're- Discussion about catering on town property. I bet I know someone that wants to discuss that.
Hi,
Hi, Isha.
so, after we talked about it at our other meeting, I did actually, take it upon myself just to reach out to other towns, just unofficially and see kind of what, because we had talked about,
Mhm.
you know, maybe talking to other towns, kind of seeing how they did things and, as we could have guessed, everyone does something different. And I only looked at towns that kind of look like ours, Granville, Hancock, Pittsfield, Stockbridge, because I was like, those would make sense. And they each have something very different. Some of them have no rules. Some of them have, you know, stricter rules. So I do think, I don't know, we had talked and Chad had been in discussion about that. So I don't know, Chad, if you had.
Yeah, so I had Julie do some deep diving for me today. And I'm prepared to put a motion forward that we adopt a town policy allowing catering with alcohol sales of a type 1 or 2 Vermont state liquor license. Not just a certified bartender. It would have to be a catering company that has their own insurance. And I say that because I have worked with catering companies in the past, and if they even get a hint of someone having their own beer in the parking lot, they will pack up and leave. And they will just say, we're done. So I don't see this as a really large risk. The other things that I would include in that, it would be allocated specifically to the hub building and Riverbrook Park, is what I'm proposing. So we have those two options. And there would be a facility use agreement, which we have several examples right here from other towns, and what they use. Subject to select board approval per event. But the facility use agreement would be in a way that proof of insurance, if it was a catering company, all that stuff would have to be presented at the time of request for approval. In the event that there was going to be a party, I just threw the number out of 25 people or more. There would have to be event insurance, specific event insurance, and law enforcement present on site.
For alcohol
Hired
or
by,
non-alcohol as well as alcohol?
no, I believe that would be contingent on the alcohol being served. We could put that through to 25 people no matter what, which might not be a bad idea, just because of the sheer number of people. And that was specifically what I had noted. And I think that having those specific items on the application. Oh, the other thing was, that if it was going to be needing event insurance, we would not require the event insurance to be proven until a week or 2 weeks before the actual event. But that would be a contingency of the application. So if that's enough information, I would like to move that we adopt a policy.
What if it's an event that includes children?
that would be, I mean.
And the licensed
we're-
bartenders.
Yeah, that's,
responsibility.
I mean, this puts
Nothing
all the
to the town.
liability on the catering company, licensed bartender.
And as
Assuming,
Richard has said, I mean, I've been at events where people have pushed it. And the catering company packs up and leaves, and they looked at me and they were, and I said, wow, you guys are, and they're like, we're not risking our license for these shenanigans.
right,
They're like, that's not
And-
worth it for them.
and assuming that most likely children will be present in an event with 25 people or more. We already have law enforcement present. Just, I think, under that 25 people mark, you're gonna tend to get your private, more adult event kind of things.
This question is
So,
clear. Does
yeah.
law enforcement mean arresting capable or is it mean town constable or either?
No, I would say probably sheriff's department, if it was gonna be an event that way, there's a certain
Capability.
definitive reaction to every action, we'll say.
I think Hancock was allowing constables at their town hall events. And their constable, the one I'm thinking of, certainly didn't have any arresting certifications. But we should look into that,
Yeah, that can be an either or.
because a sheriff would be expensive.
One of my concerns,
Yeah.
right, is because when you start looking now at the cost of a sheriff, the
And
cost
then
of the
insurance.
insurance, like you're starting to look at hundreds of dollars of a
Mhm.
startup
Mhm.
cost that will kind of eliminate the
So-
guilt of wanting to
Right.
have.
It does, but my thought in this is, in putting it forward, is not cursing every board that will pass through here for the next however many years, with having to micromanage. Fill out the form, it's either approved or denied, you fit the criteria or you don't, and that's it. Is kind of what I'm looking for, or what I was proposing.
Try to make it
Um,
straightforward.
Right, so it can literally just be a form that you fill out. You know, all the i's are dotted, t's crossed. Pause.
Okay, the meeting just stopped, so we've got to wait. Intermission.
And this only, what you're discussing something that only involves alcoholic beverages.
Wait, shh. We can't do that. Hold on.
Should we close that door?
Recording in progress.
Here, with that noise outside. Stop on.
They're coming. Hold on. Sorry, hold that thought. You got it? Okay, keep saying it.
Still get Rob's question.
Okay, we just gotta get a couple more here.
Doing a good job.
We don't have to do this very many more times.
Tomorrow's training.
Everybody's being very patient on Zoom, which is nice. All right, it slowed down. I think you're good to go.
Okay.
Thank you.
So Rob's question of this being isolated to just catering with alcoholic beverages. I think if we're going to put a use policy forward, I think it would have to cover all larger catering events. As far as the use fee, the law enforcement, I could see as being contingent if there was going to be alcohol present, and served, just because I feel like that need would come down a little bit. And really, I don't see that there would ever be a need for law enforcement, but crazy things happen. So better to have someone there and not need them than need them and not have them. Drawing a blank,
Leslie.
sorry.
So is this ordinance gonna have a time, a shut off time, or should it have a shut off?
Okay, first off, I was looking at a policy, not an ordinance. Don't wanna get into an ordinance. We would probably just hold to the quiet hours of town.
I think
would be,
the
10
cater,
o'clock.
currently the catering licenses are 10 PM.
so we would probably just stick with the cookie cutter.
What does the town's insurance policy say?
It's the boilerplate came from there.
Yes, that is where Julie got the information. They have, you know, your cookie cutter,
Boilerplate.
boilerplate forms. To,
Absolve them from any
yeah,
responsibility.
basically just, you know, it's all on you, catering company. And with the requirement of added insurance in the event of a larger party. That would also isolate the risk further.
So our insurance company would not be involved at all? Or-
In response, they would not be responsible.
Right, there would be no direct responsibility. Yes,
I say, there's a thing called TULIP, which is sort of a rider for municipal buildings, you guys probably know about it, so if you're gonna have an event at a town-owned property, and I had to get it, it was $150 for over like 150 people to go to a huge theater play at the Bethel Town Stage. So we couldn't just have the play there with town, you know, they rent it all the time, but everybody has to have insurance, so I had to pay $150, and it's specifically for town-owned buildings. And I believe that alcohol could be part of it. And I just had to say how many people and fill out a very simple form. It was much cheaper than any. I went around a goose chase trying to get insurance. Some of it was $300-400, but
insurance.
this rider was really cheap because it's for municipal buildings. And so I'm not questioning the sheriff part, but that can get very expensive and complicated. And I would think if there was insurance that involved the coverage of alcohol, you might not need a sheriff like you don't at a wedding or something, if you've had proper insurance, so.
yeah, I mean, it could be just as simple as having a town constable, that would be, you know, that's. Kind of, I'm looking to hash that out right now, because
Yeah.
I'd prefer not to keep talking about it and let's just make a
See
decision.
the difference between a private
And get it
event
done or done.
and an open to the public event too. Open to the public may require a constable or a sheriff to be there, but a
Right.
private event may not.
Right,
So it's all gonna be on the checklist,
Make it
on the
however you want.
application.
I didn't know, it was the difference with the insurance I got.
Mhm.
okay.
Burma, you can go ahead with your question. If you'd like to unmute. Burma, did you have a question? She's
That's not,
not unmuting, so let's move away. I'll
Okay.
let you know if she comes back.
yeah, so I think, nobody else has any questions, comments, additions, subtractions.
Fees. We have to develop a fee schedule as well. If there's a fee
There would,
depending on number of people, depending on the event, or just a blank, you know, flat fee for whatever, we have to determine that.
Yeah.
And if you want to do,
Does VLCT have a template for this?
I believe one of the boilerplates
Yeah.
came from. That's where the main boilerplate came from, right? There was a lot of
Yeah.
information handed to me all at once, so
You asked for it and she got it.
she did. From a lot of different places.
Tactif is the insurance company through VLCT.
And there are certainly towns all around us that have already written policies, that were posted on VLCT as well, right?
no, I went through the clerks.
Oh. Okay. So there's use agreement, examples. Which we can certainly. Pick and choose from, but for the most part, the boilerplate. Really gives us the protection we need. With the added third-party protection on there as well. So.
So you're gonna take a crack at writing up his policies?
I will, I would like to move that we vote to move ahead with it, and potentially allow, what Aja was trying to plan, to move forward.
I second.
Um, All those in favor?
Aye,
I,
Aye.
not a done deal, but we're moving forward.
Can I
Yeah.
ask for, okay, just to clarify for my own sake, so I have, what I'm hoping to plan an event that would be open to the community. And so obviously this event will take a lot of planning, so if can I propose, or can I fill out the form and have it for you at the next select board meeting?
Is it a Christmas party?
So hopefully in November. Yeah,
Okay, it gives us time.
yeah.
Yeah,
Won't it have to be approved at?
Right.
the board meetings?
Then-
Yeah.
Yeah, so the next
It
meeting,
might be just.
we'll have a form for you to fill out and then we'll move forward with the policy and I'll jam that in
Yeah,
and just to clarify. They're mostly already written, so
okay.
we'll,
yeah,
I mean,
it's
I'll
coming
just give you-
together.
I can give you everything you need, just and then.
yeah, other towns have done the work for us pretty much, so,
Great, thank you.
They
with the
could,
exception of just a few things.
yeah, they're all written. It's just a matter of conforming to each town's needs.
Yeah.
And I
Alright.
can make the application with you.
Okay, I think that does it for our agenda. We will be open for public comment, which is limited to 3 minutes per person. So if anyone does have something further to say, time to discuss it.
I have no hands on Zoom.
And I have no hands in the air.
It's good.
There's one.
Oh, I've got a hand on Zoom. That's what it takes. Do you want yours to go?
Do the Zoom first. I'll be right with you.
Go ahead, Midge.
Hi, sorry, took a few minutes to figure this out. Obviously I'm coming in late, so I don't have a clue what the discussions were beforehand. I was always thinking meeting started at 6, realized it now starts at 5. Anyway, I had a couple of comments about the cell tower. Is this an okay time to mention it?
Yes, you are the first time bringing forward comments, so we'd like to hear from you.
Okay. So, well, first of all, I would like to thank the fire department. That's number one. We are gratefully indebted to the quick action and the consideration, the expertise and the care that the fire department took. Our house didn't burn down. Yay.
They take donations.
Yes, they do. And as they say, checks in the mail. But anyway, thank you, everyone. Chad, thank you very much. And I can't see who might be there from the fire department, but I'll address them directly at another time, but I just wanted to put that out there first. So hence I can be on the Zoom tonight. My thought, I go up and down about the cell tower. I'm not crazy about the idea, but there were a couple of thoughts. I've walked around town a number of times and envisioned the cell tower where it's going to be. And one of the first things that came to mind was, over the years, how many people have commented to me from all over the state, and even people that I've met out of state, how beautiful our town green is. And I believe that, tourism is as important of an industry. We see it every time that it's foliage or any other season that draws in folks. They come here and they love our park. And I think that cell tower certainly would deter from that whole image of our beautiful village. But what really concerned me was we have a young couple, a family, who is presently building a house at the end of our road. And they've got over 600 some odd acres of land, my understanding. And lo and behold, where they are putting their new home faces directly to where this cell tower is going to go. Now, I don't know if they know anything about it, But boy, it would be a real smack in the face to go up there one day and to look at and recognize that your porch is bird's eye view of a cell tower across a short valley on the hill next to you, to where you've built. I think that would totally devalue their property, their home, especially that home. And I don't think there's any denying that, because right now they have a beautiful, beautiful view. But it would look directly onto the cell tower in a very short distance. The other concern is that there's another development going on up on Bethel Mountain. I don't know anything about it. I don't know who's doing it, what it actually entails, but if it involves building homes or allowing homes to go up there, that they too will be overlooking this cell tower, and it immediately, automatically would devalue all of their properties, because right now they'd have an open view of the mountains and the valleys and everything else, but they would be looking directly at this cell tower. And I think for a town that's really wanting to invite more folks to come and live and develop and, send their kids to school here and everything, that would be a huge deterrent to find out that your piece of property that you bought is devalued before you even get started. So that's my thought on the whole thing. I think it would be a pretty big mistake to set that up.
Thank you.
That's my comment. Thank you.
Okay, speak.
Yes, I'd like your name.
Schaefer.
Thank you.
Over State Garage Road. So, just talking about the town plan and the look and feel and vibe of the town and the community, which I think is really important up here. I was the one who took the photos that one day that they had the test balloon up, and I was just sort of taking some pictures from different vantage points. I wasn't trying to document. I mean, I was able to sort of GPS track where I was based on mailboxes and things like that, but I wasn't taking pictures that day to document, there are 17 or 85 or 2 or whatever, so many sites. I just was taking pictures because I'm like, oh, you can see it right there. So there's definitely a lot of places to be visible. I mean, I don't know if they would ever do another test balloon, but if you would want me to, go back and take more pictures and accurately document exactly where I am, I don't know if that would be helpful to this process. And one thing, it just occurred to me today, and driving to Burlington a couple times, is when I go up north on 100 and go in, I think it's Granville. It's a place that they have the 4th of July, fireworks on the ridge.
Warren.
Oh, which one is it? No,
Warren.
No, Lower Granville.
No, Lower Granville.
Lower Granville.
Oh, well, they have the 4th of July parade?
They use
No,
it
no,
to
no,
launch them by a
they
certain
launched
camp.
off.
Yeah, I know where Ide's camp is. Yeah, go ahead. I thought you
So
meant
anyway,
Warren.
as you're going up there, I mean, it's just gorgeous, you pass the 125 up to Middlebury, and it just kind of opens out in that valley, and there's all these ridges. And the crazy thing, especially where I'm from in comparison, which is very country, but not like this, you see nothing. I mean, there's no houses, there's no hotels, no bars, no restaurants, nothing. It's just woods and ridges. And then you kind of look on this one side, on the right side of the highway going north. And then there's a big tower, it's awkwardly 100 feet over the ridge, and it's just there, and it doesn't ruin my day, but it's very noticeable, you see that. And I think, I feel like the spirit of the scenic byway in this area is important, and it's a real gem. And so I'd certainly like to see that preserved. And, it's probably one of these things that it's not something that's an active discussion, but I just don't know if it could be located somewhere else where it wasn't so visual. And then there's all the other, the other stuff, which I'm sure people have talked about with the erosion concerns and everything else. But that's that's what I wanted to just talk about briefly with the photos and the location of how it's visible from many, many points and not just 4 out of 18 sample spots or whatever vertex was whatever their verbiage was, which I found a little slippery, you know, wordy.
We realize that, we're aware of that, yes, yeah. Okay,
Ben, if you would like to unmute.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, everyone. Thanks. Yeah, my comments just about the town plan, coming back to the town plan and the concept that we can't voice an opinion as a board yet because this isn't officially proposed, even though they've spent tens of thousands of dollars designing it. It's a very likely project. We can't be proactive to represent the town plan to this group yet, like many other towns are doing in Vermont. We'd rather be reactive because a different board could think differently about it. But my understanding is that the board is there to stand by the town plan, just the way the president of the United States is there to supposedly stand by the Constitution. Obviously, they don't always do that, but that's how it's supposed to work. And I think what we're seeing in other towns makes a lot of sense, where the boards are saying, hey, look, company coming into our town proposing and likely to propose this big, very consequential project, you should know it's incongruent with our town plan, or it's not. In this case, obviously, it's very incongruent on at least 4 grounds specifically, and it's incongruent with the spirit of the plan and throughout. And you should know that, corporation, so you look for somewhere else to do it, or change your proposal to be incongruence, co-location, wetland issues, flood hazard issues, et cetera, viewshed issues from various places that are denoted specifically in the town plan. Especially because we have a town plan that has a very specific section designed exactly for these situations. It's not like they weren't expecting these. So because of those reasons, my understanding is that the board is supposed to be proactive about these things, not reactive, thinking, oh, it's up to whoever's opinion, because it's not really an opinion thing. It's about standing by the town plan that's been articulated over the years. Thanks.
thank you.
Can I have a follow-up thought to that?
Sure.
So, I respect your opinion of wanting to wait until.
Our non-opinion.
But I cannot help but thinking we're looking at large corporations on one side of the issue and the town on the other side of the issue. And you guys are representing the town, and to be entirely passive about it at this point, it makes me uncomfortable. I understand what you're saying, I understand, but it would be true to say that every decision you make will be followed up by other future select boards, so simply because there will be future select board members that have to deal with something. I mean, to me, that reflects everything you do. So I would only say this, that if we have huge corporations on one side of the issue, which we do, and then just people living in the town worried about their property values or their health or whatever it is, you're the bulwark against these corporations. And just from a public relations standpoint, if nothing else, to be kind of cold to the issue. And I'm not trying to insult anybody, but to be passive and cold to the issue, it makes me uncomfortable, and that's.
At this point in time, it's not clear what the issue really is. There is no issue on our table at this point in time. So as soon as there's an issue, we will act upon it immediately.
Well, respectfully, you've got all kinds of people telling you there's an issue, and they're your people from your town that you represent. I don't want to argue about it. I respect your opinion.
The corporation hasn't brought an issue forward to our desk yet. It's just an.
We've also gotten quite a bit of feedback in favor of the project.
I could argue the thing either way. I'm really talking about the public face of the town, which is you guys. But I'm not trying to beat you over the head or anything. I think that clearly it's painful to a lot of people. And I think a purely passive and safe position may be passive and safe, but it's not very political.
Thank you.
I have no hands on Zoom.
We have one up.
Going back.
Hi, I'm Donna Murray. I just want to follow up with what Rob said. I just feel like I understand and I respect that you guys are clearly trying to take a passive role in it as of right now. And I understand that they put in a pre-application and so there is something before our town because they have put us on notice. They haven't done all, we don't have to wait until they put in a final application. They have spent thousands and thousands of dollars. People have spent a year talking about this. It's well in front of our town in some respect. And unless someone said you guys couldn't respond, you clearly can. So I feel like it's sort of clear that you've chosen not to. And we're just asking you to because we are concerned and would like people that represent us. You know, of course, some people are for it. As far as I know, it's a very small majority, but that's okay. I would like you guys to take a stand instead of not taking a stand. And I was just late coming here because I caretake a house up on Austin Hill, and I care the least about like tourists. So it's not that I'm into tourists. These people from Maryland built a house, and people come every weekend to stay there. And the tower would be right in the middle. So I understand what she was talking about. I've talked to so many people that are tourists or that come here and they want to get away from it. There's a clear majority of people are not looking for more cell phone service. When I told the owner of the house, she was absolutely horrified. She didn't, and that's not what's important. I feel like the people who live here is what's important. But I'm just saying, if we're talking about tourism or our business of tourism, of getting money for this town, clearly we want to keep our niche, our what Rochester has, which is our byways and our beauty and our mountains. We want to talk about it in dollar form. So I really am asking again for you guys you clearly can. Tinmouth just did it, and I love this town, and I'm like jealous of what's happening in Tinmouth right now because they were proactive and I wrote a strong opinion against it, and the PUC just turned it down. And so to wait only gives, if anything, Verizon more teeth because they're just going to spend more money. The more they do research, the more they do stuff, the more money they put into it. It's harder for them to back off of a plan when they put in a lot of investment into it. So anybody who is against something or wants to even make a statement for whatever it is, would do it sooner rather than later because it's just going to get more complicated. Thanks.
I move we adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?